We are coming to you once again from Kisumu City, the wonderful city on the shores of the Lake Victoria. Once again, it is Brother Benson TV bringing you the public opinion on topical issues happening within Kenya and the globe at large. As at the moment, 1 week ago, we have a new leader in the USA. A new sheriff is in town. So the question is, what is the effect of the new leadership in the America, and what effect will it basically have in Africa? And we are looking at Kenya, we are looking at Africa as a continent, and also we are trying just to understand the effects of the Trump leadership to the entire globe. So to help us understand this, we have the chairman of the Bunge la Wananchi, Central Square, or next to the Barclays Bank, Kisumu. And we also have a member of the Bunge la Wananchi, Mr. Felix, also to help us put this in the common man's perspective. So one-on-one, I'll briefly start with the chairman. Chairman, we have a new sheriff in town. Donald Trump has taken over the leadership of the USA. Now, as a Kenyan, as a Kisumu resident, you know, how do you feel? How did you see the transition, and what is your prophecy of the world ahead under Donald Trump?
First, I'm Ali Semira, Chairman Bunge la Wananchi. In fact, first of all, I should say thanks to God for having allowed us to be here today, this evening, and maybe to share with the people outside or within this idea of elections which were concluded the other day, and the new president was sworn in on 20th January. We do thank him and actually say God give him long life and maybe perform well to American people. Me as a Kisumu resident, as well as a tribe of a Luo, I was impressed and so happy for Biden to be flopped by Trump. Policies of Democrats were not helping us as a tribe. They had some policies which of course could not go hand in hand with our culture in Kenya. This one example was this: a woman to marry another woman, a man to marry another man. According to Bible, it is not acceptable. That's why God made two people differently, a woman and a man. And he saw it fit to say to those man and wife that go to that Eden and multiply to that from that place, which of course it has been going on. But Democrats came up with the idea, though they are also equally to rights. So they should be allowed to do whatever their right may force them to do by marrying a woman and marrying a man, and this that. And this, in fact, I do say it was actually killing our society, because marriage is actually to add you up in numbers. It can only be done by a woman and a man. When Trump came in, he went strictly to Bible, and they rubbished that one, and actually it is not there now.
So they're saying that only America recognizes only a male and a female as the gender.
And
what makes you...
not America alone as such.
Yes, sir.
It is strictly Republican Party. Its policies are different with the Democrats' policies. Republican, so it fit that a man should marry a man, a woman should marry, a man should marry a woman, and a woman should marry a man. So in fact, as at now, things are in fact, particularly in Kenya, we are all right, because even our president, current president, also alluded Trump for having said that, and did away with a wife, a woman to marry a woman, and a man to marry a woman.
A very wonderful introduction from the chair. You know, we have so many issues that Trump has been speaking about already. You know, implementing some of them thoroughly. So Felix, let me come to Felix. Huh? Maybe as a young Kenyan, you know, you are in that different age group. When you see, you know, America has some advantage in the globe. When you see Trump taking lead of the world to some extent, you know, he's a global leader. Whatever he says will affect Africa. Whatever his policies will affect Kenya, and whatever his policies are might affect you as a person. You know, what are you foreseeing of this Trump presidency, you know, in the days to come?
Thank you for this opportunity. For me, I'd like to congratulate Trump for a job well done. And secondly, let me come direct to the point on Trump's policy. There are some policies I can agree with him. But there are some policies, personally as a Kenyan, I might need more time to understand. But one great policy that I totally agree with Trump is the policy of female, male, gender. That is one thing that is good and is the best for the entire world. Now let me come to these other issues Trump might be pushing. Trump is more of a businessman and will approach the entire globe from a business angle. So for anybody who would like to deal with Trump must get to understand his angle of how he does his businesses. And that's how Trump will deal with the global issues as far as Kenya, Africa is entirely concerned. To some policies we can see as Kenyans currently, some of us young people who used to enjoy some of the jobs here through the USAID sponsorship and these other programs, the money might go away. So it is high time for our leadership to see a way of how they can bring it back or renegotiate with Trump in a way. Because one thing I believe, these are great relationships that have been there for too long. It might not be good per se for now to do away with them, or it might be good in other words. Now it depends with how our entire leadership will approach, because there are families who depend on these jobs. The researches America depends on from getting some feedback from us here, because America is seen as the global leadership country. It affects almost the entire world. Whatever they decide, yeah. So to me, I would like to request all our leaders, especially our president, get to a team and we see how we can retackle some of the things Trump have pulled away. Thank you. That could
so basically, if you look at USAID, we will say that USAID is in education, USAID is in agriculture, USAID is in health majorly. So, you know, we are wondering what next. Will it just be an impromptu stop, or maybe are they first reviewing what has been happening so that they bring it in much better? It's just the end of the US and the USAID support.
According to me, the way I know Trump, based on the first term that we saw Trump, Trump is a very funny president, for lack of a better term. It is not easy to predict him. But one thing I understand with Trump, Trump is a businessman. No businessman will like to do with an opportunity that can help him, and especially the way he's saying, I'll be pro-US. So there are some of projects that he's doing through USAID, US has been doing through USAID, can still be beneficial to the US. So that are some of the renegotiations we can sit down with a team that maybe the Kenyan leadership will bring up and see how this education finance can still go on. The health sector, it benefits both us as Kenyans and the US. And the other one was on agriculture sector, food security. It is very, very crucial. Come on, these are things that Trump need to look at. He might have done a speedy reaction to react on it. But I believe with time, as time goes by, I believe Trump will rethink about it.
Maybe before I allow the chairman to continue, you know, what next for the global politics? We have the war in Russia, we have all the influence, the Israeli negotiations, you know. Are we most likely to see a different scenario? Are all these wars coming to an end because of Trump, or just like the right timing for things to happen?
Of course, we've seen signs from the Israel-Gaza war. We've seen Trump had a hand on it, and it has come to an halt. I'm also hoping for the same for the Ukrainians and the Russians. And I also still believe, as much as Trump might have a hand in stopping that war, justice must be done, especially to Ukraine, because that is a war that Putin was not supposed to start in the first place. So Ukrainians must be given their right to run their country. And as much as Russia might have a few interests here and there, those are things that people, noble people can sit down and discuss. What do we think about it? Discuss, renegotiate, and reposition. But still, justice has to be done for the damage Russia has done to the Ukraine. And many other wars that might be there, that Trump may have a hand. I'll pray that justice should be done to the people who are offended.
Okay. Yes. Is it a wake-up call to African leaders now to start thinking of Africa and stop some of the bad behaviors also?
Absolutely, absolutely. The way we know Trump, Trump doesn't have a heart for the African leaders. I can remember some time back how Trump described Africans as a shithole country. Sorry for using that term.
The shithole country.
Yes, he was wondering how comes we have leaders in this continent and they're not helping their people to solve the issues. So it is true. The African leaders should wake up and rethink. And also, times are changing. We can't keep on depending on the Western people. Times are changing. Our African leaders need to style up. And if they don't style up, I assure you, Trump will style them.
Okay. Thank you very much. Very, 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 very detailed and informative highlights from Brother Felix.
Thank you.
So we'll go to the chairman. The chairman is you've been around. You've seen the relationship between Africa and the US. You've seen the relationship and benefits of the US-Kenya partnership, even here in Kisumu. Are we going to miss all this just because we have a new leader at the White House?
When I start my comment, I should actually congratulate my fellow colleague, because we believe whoever is inside now is a businessman. And businessmen, they don't like wasted money. They are very strict
with their money.
And also, Trump has come to America to be a leader, because America also, as a country, depends on business. And I know Republican has been there for a long time. It is not the first time.
Yes.
They have their own policies towards Africa, or concerns Africa. And maybe it's not mad, because you said has been there for a long time. This is not the first time when Biden was in it, when you said we came to be here. No, it used to be there. So to me, Kenya should move with speed and sweet talk Trump, and maybe Trump also to see some sense, particularly as concerns with this aid issue, Ukimi, that is. HIV/AIDS. If he can dump us here now, we as a country will have very many casualties, because life may not be there again for those who are affected. So let him just, I know he's a gentleman, he will rethink over it and maybe continue.
We have seen flights. People are already being told, if you don't have papers, find your way back to your country. Are we likely to see Kenyans even being affected? And now, what is the way out of this? And why? What do you understand when you see that happening? All those flights, like, okay, you guys, you have to leave.
I think Trump was very clear, and he said it. If you don't have the right documents, he considers you as a thug. He considers you as
a criminal.
A criminal in this country. And how do you do with criminals? You either charge them in a court of law, or return them back to where they came from. But I will plead with Trump. There are other genuine cases that are true and are sincere. Kindly relook into it, because America cannot survive, especially the labor that America needs right now cannot thrive without some of these immigrants. So I will plead with him to rethink. And for those Kenyans who are there and you don't have the right documents, there's no other way. You'll have to come back home. There's no other way. You'll have to come back home. Trump is one man who keeps his word, and he follows his word to the latter.
Chairman, like you have a brother and a cousin in the US. Do you think they have the correct papers? And if what might happen to them? If they're there, okay, that's okay. But if some Kenyans lack papers over there,
it is true. don't dodge. It is as if you are stealing from those people. Because you know, you are aware that you don't have proper papers. And you go and look for some jobs. You are given as per fake papers, meaning you will not deliver because you don't have capacity, knowledge-wise. Even it was done here when Kibaki entered into Mwongoza 2003. Telecom, watu walikuwa huko hoi hoi. Kibaki faced them out. With no proper papers, you go. And some people were married there. A woman married to a man married to a woman. And they all don't have proper papers. They went home, all of them. So Telecom at that particular time remained with the people who have proper papers. Why should somebody have a proper paper by going to Telecom anaambiwa kazi hakuna, while huyu anafanya kazi does not have proper papers? So let the proper papers to be in job, and those ones who are not having proper papers, let them come back and look for proper papers.
With all the numbers that are being reported, you know, would you advise Kenyans maybe just to follow the right procedure? Maybe Felix?
Yeah, I'll definitely advise Kenyans to follow the right procedure because not everybody has to go to the US. So the world is globally connected.
Yes.
And what is the reason that is taking you to the US? If it's not only for education, it mostly is for job. Apart from these other things, we go for conferences and the others, but those ones are shortfall. But for major one is basically either I'm going for education or I'm going to seek for a better green pasture. If you have to go for either two of these, I believe US has a proper way of how you can apply and get there. But peradventure, you happen to be there in one or the wrong ways. I don't see any other way. You have to come back and reapply again. And maybe the Trump administration and his new policy that he's trying to bring in might reconsider you, because what I know, US cannot thrive with the labor. They don't have enough, so they will need more.
We've had the debate. You know, people are worried across the globe. People in Kenya, even people are worried. The sick are worried. The farmers are worried. Everybody's just worried that what shall happen next under the leadership of Trump. When asked a question, what will you give us your summary statement about the leadership of Trump now that Trump is the one in charge of the America?
Okay, Trump anampatia kongole. Let him move steadily and cleverly and wisely. We went as far as to depend on European people, but all brains are white. Yeah, European people are white. African brain are also white. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Why don't you have a copy from there? You manufacture your own things, and you go as far as depending on yourself.
It's a wake-up call.
Yes. Like this one, Raila is going in AUC. In fact, he should go with that. That Africans should get what is he deserved.
Africa to wake up.
Not to actually to put your much hope on other people. Put hope on yourself.
Put hope on yourself. Felix,
yes.
We are looking at now Trump. Everybody's worried. Everybody's worried that, okay, what next? You know, what will that be, that line that anytime everybody will wake up and you say that this is the way, this is what Trump is up to?
I again will congratulate Trump. And Trump is a disciplinarian.
Yes.
So he will be instilling discipline. The way we know Trump, he's been a businessman. So learn Trump through his businesses and you see the kind of discipline he's had. And that's the same discipline Trump is going to instill in the US and in the global as a whole. Now, what do? It's a wake-up call for the African countries. It is high time our African leaders also raise their standards high to renegotiate with the whites. It is high time we change the game for the whites, because everything we want is in Africa. I don't see anything lacking. We have everything: energy, oil, food. We are far much better than going to the US. Look at them right now, it is winter. They're really suffering. Africa is cool. Weather is perfect. Why are we going there?
Living this perfect world.
Exactly. Why are we going there? We just need our leaders to rethink and raise their standards to a level we can also renegotiate with Trump. Our people are suffering from HIV issues. Do you think we don't have a solution here? There is a solution in Africa because we are the people suffering more. Come on, leaders, we can think. Just recently, we had corona issues. How many Africans died? Very few. But where did the solution come from? Madagascar. That's just an example. That tells you Africa, yeah, we have solutions. It is our leaders who, I don't know what is wrong with their thinking. It is high time we change our thinking. And I thank God that Trump has come there to wake you guys up, that you style up and also make this Africa to be like a United States that is independent, free from these other whites. And as they come here, we also renegotiate with them. When they come here, they need our energy. We need to renegotiate with them. When they come here, they need our coffee. Come on. We need to renegotiate those things. Trump wants negotiations for trade. Let's also give him renegotiations. Because he thinks he's there for the US, and I understand with him. Let also our leaders also stand for Africa. Period.
We are capable. And this is when I'm urging Raila, if at all you will get AU in your hand, please wake Africans, let them not slumber anymore. And then let do much to Africans ourselves, and let us also bring a situation whereby European and Trump himself will see into it that it is prohibited to go to Africa and maybe to negotiate. That way they will bring us some industries and maybe to accommodate our youths, Gen Z, because if at all the Trump will need something, we'll simply tell him there is land here, please bring that industry here, and maybe have being done here, and then me and you and your son and your daughter will get job.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it is, you know, viewers, I know you're viewing us from various parts of the world and the continent Africa. We've been coming to you live from Kisumu City. Actually, we are at the Central Square. The Central Square, the People's Bunge, where most of the continental issues are discussed, most of the Kenyan issues are discussed, and actually it is the measure of the Nyanza and the Luo Nyanza politics. So basically we might have heard from 2 or 3 people on the streets, but it's deep and it's a representation of the bigger population in the region and the bigger population that we have in this town. So the question is, what next for you as a person? What next for you as a community? What next for Kenya as a country? And what next for Africa as a continent?
I'm really glad that Trump comes at a time when I also believe that Raila Amolo Odinga is also coming at the right time to be the AUC chairperson. And this will be a good time for us as the AUC to sit down with this super house white countries and renegotiate about Africa. It is high time. Africa is led by the right people who have a heart for Africa. It is high time that our leaders rethink how we can renegotiate with the whites. They have used us for too long. It is time also they pay back. For the injustices they did, they must pay back. For the good things they've done, we salute them and tell them Africa is our country and they must pay for our resources. Thirdly, we have coffee that is coming from this Africa. I believe that as our AUC chair gets in there, we'll negotiate those kinds of deals, that Africa gets the best value for their resources. As far as energy is concerned, we need our leadership who's going to the AUC, and I pray that Raila Amolo Odinga wins this thing. He has the credibility, he has the network, he has the heart, he has the passion, he has what it needs
and support
to champion this Africa change that we really want. Africans, this is my message, versus the whites. It is high time our African leaders stand for Africa, because all that we want is in Africa. And if only we can be united, we don't need to go to the Europeans, we don't need to go to the US. We can make a US and Europe in Africa, because there are many here. There are many here. Why are they enjoying those benefits at our expenses? It is high time we enjoy what God gave us rightly. African leaders, wake up. Trump is asking for renegotiation of trades for his own country. What are we challenging Trump with? As he comes to Africa, let's also give him terms based on what we have and what we can do. And I believe with that, African will be waking up and getting the best value they've been deprived for quite so many years.
Let Africans come up. Let Africans, whenever they are and leading whatever nation,
Yes.
to realize that Africans should do business as well. As Trump is thinking about America in business, let our leaders also to come up and do business with other countries. Africa is rich. If you can come up and do business, Africa will not be the same again. Two, all leaders, African, you are going to assemble yourself in Addis Ababa.
Yes, in a few weeks' time.
In a few weeks to come. Please go there when you are alert and ensure African lies in your hands. Make the right choice. Make the right decision and elect whoever is fit to change Africa.
And that
like
is?
the one we have given you Kenyans, we have given you a good man, a lion. When roaring, everybody will hear that the Simba has roared. So don't do any mistake again. Do as American is doing by electing somebody who thinks a lot of business and more so America. Let us also not be a dumping site, African. Please, Raila Amolo Odinga, I wish you happy day. I wish you good luck. As you go there, please, we are with you and we are behind you.
Okay. You know, this will never come to an end. It is a topic that will continue. We'll speak about AU, we'll speak about America, we'll speak about Kenyan politics. And now, as we promised our viewers, we are going to come back to the Central Square. This is a wonderful square. Actually, it is one square that it's on the center of Kisumu. And as usual, we remind you to follow this discussion on our various platforms that are running below your screen. And we promise to bring you more topical issues and more people's debate coming to you from various parts of Kenya, coming to you from various countries in Africa, and if possible, we'll also be coming to you live from the globe. I've been your host, Odera Wycliffe, and till next time, thank you for watching.